Please let me know in WhatsApp. Can you able to see my screen? Just ping me. Not able. Okay. Now it's visible, right? Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Okay, then it's good. Let's get started. Thank you guys. I have some issues in my machine. I don't know. There is a problem in my machine. So I'll keep an eye with my WhatsApp in case if you guys face any issue, just WhatsApp me. Okay. Jagdish also WhatsApp me. Okay, let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome to this session. As part of this session, we will see how to how the class is getting loaded when we are running the program, and second one we will be seeing about static global variables, right? We know that how to define a class, right? We will be going with class, class name, right? We'll be going with a class and class name. Class name is nothing but static variable one. This is the class name I have given. Class name should start with uppercase and should follow camel case, right? And we have opened one parenthesis and closed one parenthesis. Then give one tab. Then we'll be going with public static void main string arguments, right? It is an array type. Then open parenthesis, immediately close the parenthesis, right? Now, what we are going to do is we are going to define, we are going to print something. System is the capital one, right? S is capital here. System dot out dot println. Correct. So I'm going to say welcome to this session, right? I'm just printing welcome, right? This is a hello world program. Already we have seen multiple times. So I'm just copying this class name. I'm going to save this file. How can I save? Right? Under my desktop, there is a directory called Mercy, right? Under this, we are going to save all our Java programs, correct? So what I'm going to do is I'm going with file, save. I'm going to paste it, right click, paste it, then .java. We know that all the class names, file names should be stored with .java extension, right? Under desktop, there is a Mercy directory. So here we have stored it. Now, how to compile it? It's very simple, right? So you just go where your .java file you have stored. Then click the address bar, right? Type cmd, right? Command prompt, correct? Type cmd, right? Now, let's increase the font. How to compile it? Already you guys know. In case if you miss this, if you miss the previous sessions, not to worry. Please watch previous recordings. Right? How to do it? It's simple. You can go with javac class name dot java. Right? So when you are compiling it, you should not get any compile time error. Right? You should not get any compile time error. So if no compile time error means, it means your compilation is success. Open the directory where you have stored. Now if you observe, the dot class file is generated. Who generated this file? This file is generated by compiler, right? So compilation is success. How to run the file? How to run the class? You already know it. Java class name, right? When I give enter, you are seeing welcome, right? So this is a hello world program, right? Past 3 to 4 days, 5 days, we have seen this hello world program. We already know it. Now I would like to stress little bit more in depth on this, correct? So what is happening when we are running particular class? Right? What is happening when we are running? So I would like to say one point is, right? There are two types of memory in the Java, right? you can say in the JVM, right? Two types of memory spaces are available. One is a stack memory, correct? This is very, very important. Two types of memory are there. One is a stack memory. Second one is a heap memory, correct? Second one is a heap memory, correct? Second one is a heap memory. So stack memory, you can consider it as a RAM, right? Heap memory, you can consider it as a hard disk, just for our understanding, right? Just for our understanding, right? So stack memory, it is for execution purpose. It is for execution purpose, right? Stack memory is for execution purpose, right? Whereas heap memory, you can consider it is a storage purpose, right? You can consider it is a storage purpose. Example is RAM. You know that when we are running, this is a notepad, right? When we are running, so this application needs some memory to execute, right? So that is where stack memory. Heap memory means consider you are storing various different files, PDFs, movies, videos, audios, all are stored in the all you can give it as a storage purpose, right? So what happens when you are running one class, right? That is what we are going to see. So this is our heap memory, right? If you see the diagram, this is our heap memory. So whenever I am running Java and class name, right? Whenever I am running Java and class name, this is very, very important. Class loading we are going to see, correct? So whenever we are running particular class, so what happens? That class is loading into stack memory. So when I am running Java, how I will run? Java class name. What is the class name? Java static variable 1. This is the class name. Whenever I am running in the command prompt, immediately we are seeing output. But what is happening in the background? In the background, what happens is whenever I run the program, particular class, right? Whenever we are running particular class, in this case, right? In this case, static variable 1, this is the class name, right? Whenever we are running particular class, that class is loading into stack memory, right? That class is loading into stack memory. This is very, very important. So what happens when I am running, right? Java static variable 1, this is the stack memory. What happens? That class is loading into stack memory. Consider this is what our class is. There can be many classes during runtime. It can be loaded, correct? There can be many classes, correct? So what is this? This is nothing but static variable 1. This is the class name. You can give any name. That doesn't matter, right? You can give any name. So you can, in the stack memory, there can be thousands of classes in the real-time application, right? There can be, because in each project, there can be hundreds, thousands of classes are there, right? So all will be loading into stack memory. For now, you consider whenever I am running using Java command, Java class name, that particular class, here static variable 1 class is loading into stack memory, correct? Now, what happens after loading? We are getting the output. This is okay. Now I'm going to modify this program, right? So what I'm going to do is I am going to introduce one variable called static variable, right? So far we have seen in the past classes local variable. How to define the local variable? It is very simple, right? Let me copy this into separate place for notes purpose, right? So how to define a local variable? You will be going with the data type and the variable name, right? And the variable name. This is how you will be defining a variable, correct? This is how you will be defining the variable. So similar way, this is called local variable. Why you are calling it as a local variable? If a variable is declared inside a method, right? Because previously we have seen inside main method, we declared a variable, correct? That is why it is called as local variable, right? If a variable is declared inside a method, that is called local variable, correct? But if you observe here, this is nothing but we are not declaring inside a method, but we are declaring outside method, but inside class, right? There can be any number of methods we have seen, right? Process method, init method, destroy method, there can be anything, but this is outside of method. But thing is that this variable is for this variable is a static variable, right? So now it is a similar way, data type and variable name. So only keyword is static keyword, right? How we define our method, similar way, static keyword. So now what is the second point? First point is when I am running this class, static variable one, this is the output, right? This is exactly we are having, right? So when we are when we are running this class, we already seen that this class is loading into stack memory, right? That is our first point, right? Whenever we are running particular class, that class is loading into stack memory. Now continuity on that. Now second point, when this particular class is loading into stack memory, I'm just copy pasting it, right? Instead of typing it, I'm just copy pasting. When particular class is loading into stack memory, right? When particular class is loading into stack memory, correct? What happens? All the static global variables and static methods are loading into stack memory, right? What I am telling? All the static variables, right? And static methods are loading into stack memory, right? Now it's very simple. First time whenever you are running static variable one class, that class is loading into stack memory. Now inside static variable one class, how many static variables are there? Only one static variables. How many static methods are there? Only one static methods. Name of the static method is main, right? All the static variables, it means count is loading into stack memory, main method also loading into stack memory, right? All the static variables and all the static methods, right? All the static methods are loading into stack memory. Here we are having only one static method. That's why, you know, only this variable will be loaded. So what we can see, we can say that count will be loaded into stack memory, right? Count will be loaded. Second one is main method also will be loaded, right? If you observe, this is very simple, right? Very simple. Count is loaded into stack memory. Similar way, main method also loaded into stack memory. The second point is very clear. Whenever I am running Java particular class, that particular class is loading into stack memory, number one point. Now when particular class is loading into stack memory, all the static global variables and static methods are loaded into stack memory. Only static variables, only static methods. Here we have to, that's why it is loaded into stack memory, correct? Now that point, again I'm going to copy paste, right? What I said, all the static variables, static methods are loaded into stack memory. First we will see about static variables, then we will go with methods. Now the third point is very simple. When when the whenever the static variables are loaded into stack memory, right? Whenever the static variables are loaded into stack memory, correct? I just copy pasted. Whenever, first we are going to see static variables. Whenever the static variables are loaded into stack memory, right? How it is loaded? It is loaded with default values, correct? It is loaded with default values. That point is simple. We already know what are the different data types are there, right? What are the different data types are there? Let's go with notes here, right? Byte, short, You need to memorize this order, right? Byte short, int, long, float, double, boolean, correct? Character, right? We already know that byte short, int, long, all are float, double, all are numerical type. So byte short, int, long, all are whole numbers, right? Byte default value is 0, short default value is 0, int default value is 0, right? Long default value is 0, float default value is 0.0, correct? Because it is a floating point, right? Whereas double also, it is a floating point 0.0. Boolean will be false. Character default is empty character, one empty character, right? Nothing will be there, right? These are the default values. So all the static variables will be loaded with default values. Now, how many static variables we are having? Count. What is the data type of a count? Int. What is the int default value? 0. So it means it is loaded with 0, correct? So what I can say? I can say that count is count is count is loaded with 0, correct? Count is loaded with 0, correct? Now, how can I make sure it is loaded with 0? Let's experiment our code. So what I am doing it, I did not assign any value. I will print something, count equal to plus count, right? You can give anything here, right? Anything here, right? I'm just printing something, then I can say count. So let's see the output. Again, let me save it. Same program only. I did not modify anything. I've just introduced one variable. Same I'm printing. Let's compile again. How to compile? Java C, class name. What is the class name? Class name static variable one dot Java, right? Now compilation is success. How to run? Java static variable one. When I run this class, what happens? When I run Java static variable one, particular class is loaded into stack memory, number 1 point, right? Number 2 point. When this class is loaded into stack memory, all the static variables and static methods are loaded into stack memory, right? Count and main method both are loaded. Now, what is the that point we are seeing? That point is when our static global variables are loaded into stack memory, it is loaded with default values, right? Let's run and see the output. See what is the output you are getting? When you are seeing the output, you should be able to understand. Count, we are seeing it as 0 because it is loaded with default value. You see the diagram, right? See here, it is loaded with 0. That's why you are getting the default values. Let's go with same program. I don't want to modify with a different program. Let's go with different data types. Static byte B. Okay, you can give any name, but let's give it easiest name. Byte B. Static byte short. Yes. Static byte short int long byte short int long float F double, right? Double D static double boolean B, right? Then static char, right? These are the different data types, 8 data types. Let me remove count. Okay, if you observe 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, we have 8 data types. I'm just trying to print everything, right? I can say byte, right? Here I can print byte, right? B, right? Let me copy paste, instead of typing everything, let me copy paste 8 lines, right? Byte short, I'm just printing, right? Int long float double, right? Boolean, right? The last one is char, right? So this side also I need to change. Byte B, we are given short S. You can give any name, by the way. Okay. Int, then long, then float, then double, then boolean. Again, we should not go with duplicate variable, should not should not be there. Let me name it as B1, right? B1 and character is C, right? It's simple. Now what happens when I am running this class is loaded into stack memory, right? Static variable is loaded into stack memory. Second point, when this class is loaded into stack memory, all the static variables and the static methods are loaded. How many static variables are there? 8 static variables are there. I cannot able to write all together, right? Byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, char, all are loaded in the stack memory along with main method, right? What is our third point? Whenever static variables are loaded in the stack memory, then it is loaded with the default values. What is the default values? Byte, short, int, long will be 0, float and double will be 0.0, boolean will be false, character will be empty character, right? Let's just compile it and run it. Let me save this file first. Yes, I saved it. Then let me compile it, right? Let me compile it, right? Let me compile it. How to compile? It is simple. Java C class name, right? Class name dot Java, right? Compilation is success, right? How to run? Java class name. When I run this class is loaded into stack memory, correct or not? When this class is loaded into stack memory, inside static variables, how many static variables and methods are there? 8 static variables and 1 method. Both are loaded into stack memory. Second point, right? Now, what is the third points? Whenever these static variables are loaded, all are loaded with the default values. We already know. First four are integer type 0. Remaining two are floating type 0.0. Boolean is false, character is C. All we are trying to print. Let's run and see. See, you are getting the output. Byte, short, int, long, all are loaded with 0.0. Correct or not? Let me copy this and paste it here only. Right? See the output along with your this one. Right? Byte is loaded with 0. Short, byte, short, int, long, all are loaded with 0. Correct? What about the float and double? 0.0. Boolean default value is false. Character default value is one empty space, right? One empty character. Now it's clear, right? That point is very, very clear, right? Whenever you are loading, all the static variables are loaded with default values, correct? Now let's go with one more program. Let me remove this, right? And let's go with one more program. Let me go with one more class called class static variable 2, right? Now, right? Let me select languages Java, right? Now let me open parenthesis, close parenthesis. Whenever you open it, you close it. Then I'll go with public static void main. Then I will go with string arguments, right? You can give any name, by the way. This is a reference, right? You can give any name, A, B, C, D, or arguments, anything. Again, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, right? Now what I will do, I am going with this, right? What we have seen count, right? Let me introduce one static variable. Static is a keyword. All the keywords are highlighted in this color, right? Whatever you see, these are keywords. Keywords means reserved words, correct? Static, what is the variable? Data type is int, then variable name is count, right? Now previously we have seen this, we have seen in the first time, right? We already seen this class, same program in our first thing, right? So let me just print the count, correct? If you want, you can print on this also. Now let me save this, copy this class, Control S or file, save. You can go with anything. Then let me go with static variable 2.java, right? So when I compile it, let me compile again quickly, right? Let me compile again. How to compile? Java C, right? Static variable 2.java, right? Compilation is success. How to run? Java static variable 2, right? We already know that default value will be 0, correct? That's what it is happening, right? So whenever you are running this class by using Java command, this static variable 2 is loaded into stack memory, correct? it is loaded into stack memory. And second point is when this class is loaded into stack memory, all the static variables and static methods are loaded into stack memory. Correct. Now third point is it is loaded with static variables are loaded with the default value. Right. Now I'm going to introduce something like this. I'm going to assign 100 here. Now the fourth point is third point. What is the third point? When we are loading into stack memory, it is loaded with default values, right? Now what happens once all the static variables are loaded? What is the next step? First static variables will be loaded. Then what is the next step? Then all the static methods will be loaded, right? Once all the static variables are loaded into stack memory, right? Then what is the next step? All the static methods will be loaded, right? All the static methods will be loaded into stack memory, right? But before to this, I want to bring one more point in the middle, right? One more point. Let it be fifth point. Okay. We already know that first static variable will be loaded, then static methods will be loaded. Consider in that point, it is loaded with the default value, right? Now, what is the fourth step means? What is the fourth step means? Once, right, variables are loaded with the default values. Once static variables are loaded with default values, variables are loaded with default values, right? It is done, right? This process is done. Consider, we have seen two programs. So this is loaded with default values, right? Then what is the next step? Once it is loaded with the default values, then reinitialization is happening from top to bottom. Reinitialization, right, is happening from top to bottom, right? What it means? Now in this program, right? Now when we are running, it is loaded with default values, right? Count will be 0, right? Now main method is not yet started. When this class is loaded, it is loaded in the stack memory. When this class is loaded, all the static variables, second point, and all the static methods are loaded into stack memory. What is the third points? Once everything is done, then static variables are loaded with default values, that is 0, right? What is the fourth point? Once variables are loaded with default values, then reinitialization is happening from top to bottom. What is here? Here, before it is loaded with 0, correct? Now what happens? Before it is loaded with 0, correct? Now reinitialization will happen, right? So 0 will be erased, correct? It's simple. 0 will be erased. 0 will be erased, correct? 0 will be erased and 100 will be reinitialization, correct? It's very clear, right? What is the first step? When you are running particular class, that class is loading into stack memory. What is the second point? When the particular class is loading into stack memory, all the static variables and methods are loaded into stack memory, correct? What is the third point? Once everything is done, then static variables are loaded into stack memory with the default values. What is the fourth point? Reinitialization is happening from top to bottom, right? Is happening from top to bottom, correct? So what it means? So here we have only one variable. That's why you will be getting. Let's run this program again. I have saved it. Let me compile it quickly, right? How to compile? It is simple. So Java C, right? What is the class name? Static variable 2, right? Let me copy Java C class name dot Java, right? Compilation is done. How to run Java class name? Whenever I am running this class, guys, this 6 points I will be repeating again and again. Today and tomorrow class, you should memorize these 6 points, right? Whenever I am running this class is loading into stack memory. When this class is loading into stack memory, all the static variables and static methods are loaded into stack memory. Then third point will be, it is loaded with default values. The fourth point is reinitialization is happening, right? See, we are getting 100 now because of reinitialization, we are not getting 0 now. Because of fourth step, because of fourth step, reinitialization, it is happened, right? Now what I will do, I will go with previous program, right? Let me assign some values, right? Let me go with 10, right? 100, right? Let me go with 1000, then let me go with 50,000, then let me go with 5.5f, right? You can define L also. L means long type, right? F means floating point. Then double means you can go with some bigger number, right? Then Boolean means you can go with true or false, correct? Let's reinitialize with true. Character, you can initialize any character. Let's go with M, right? Now what is happening? Let me compile this program quickly. So Java C, sorry, Java C class name. This class name is nothing but static variable one. So dot Java. So when I compile, there is no compile time error. How to run? Java class name. When I run this program, again all four steps are repeated. This class is loading into stack memory, correct or not? There is a stack memory. This is only for execution purpose, guys. This class is loaded into stack memory, and it is first step is this class is loaded. Second step is all the static variables and static methods are loaded. Third step is it will be initializing with default values, right? How many things are there? Let me increase this, right? Let me bring it down. Let me increase the size, right? So how many are there here? We are having like byte B, right? Short S, int I, long L, float, double, boolean, character, right? All will be loaded with the default values, right? You already know. I am not able to type for everything, right? You already know by default value is 0. We already seen that, right? All are loaded with the default values. The third point is very, very important. All are loaded with the default values. After loaded, right? What is happening? What is the fourth point? Once static variables are loaded with default values, reinitialization is happening from top to bottom. What it means? It means byte B is reinitialized with 100, short S is reinitialized with, byte B is reinitialized with 10, S is reinitialized with 100, everything like that, right? Etc. So reinitialization is happening, right? Now what I am doing, same value I am printing, correct? Same value I am printing. Let me run this program, right? You observe the output. See here, now we are getting corresponding because of reinitialization, byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, character, right? Because we are not getting default values because of fourth point, reinitialization is happening from top to bottom, right? What is the fifth point? Again, it is simple. We already seen the fifth point, because as part of second point, when particular class is loading into stack memory, all the static variables and static methods will be loaded. So when static variables loaded only, all these two steps are happening. Once these two steps are done, then static methods will be loaded, right? All the static methods will be loaded. What is the sixth point? Sixth point is, you already know. JVM calls main method, right? In other way, JVM starts executing main method, right? We did not call main method, right? You guys already know. Yesterday we have seen how to define process method, init method, and destroy method. If you declare, method will not be called. You need to call either because it's a static method, either you can call directly or by using the class name, correct? So now these 6 steps again we are going to see. Same point again we are going to see, right? Again we are going to see, right? Now what happens when I am running this class? This static variable one class is loaded into stack memory, correct? Then when this class is loaded, all the static variables and main method, right? We have only one method called main method. We have 8 static variables. All are loaded along with main method. Now when this variables are loaded, all are loaded with the default values, correct? All are loaded with the default values. Third point, correct? All are loaded with default values, right? What is the fourth point? Reinitialization is happening top to bottom, right? Reinitialization. right, is happening top to bottom. Once reinitialization is happened, what is the next point? Fifth point, all the static methods. Here we have only main method. So main method is loaded. What is the sixth point? Then only JVM calls this main method, starts executing this method. Then we are seeing all the output, right? Am I clear? All the 6 points, could you guys able to understand? This is what happens in the background, right? Clear? Yeah, you can reply. Right, perfect. Then what we will do is quickly we will be going with various programs, right? So I don't want to change the things, so I will be playing around in the same program only, right? Say for example, I will go with static int x, right? Then I will be going with one more variable, static int y, equal to, say for example, I'll go with 100, right? What I will do here is I will just print x and y, right? X equal to plus x, then y equal to plus y, right? Y equal to plus y. Now we are going to see all the 6 points again and again. Whenever I am running this class, what happens? This particular class is loaded into stack memory, number 1 point. Number 2 point is whenever this static variable 2 class is loaded into stack variable stack memory, all the static variables and the static methods are loaded into stack memory. Third point, when static variables are loaded, it is loaded with default values, right? It is loaded with default values, right? It is loaded with default values. Let's remove everything. Let's go with x equal to 0 and y equal to 0. Both are loaded with the default values, correct? What is the fourth point? Because it's a int type, it is loaded. Then reinitialization is happening from top to bottom. X is not having any reinitialization part. Nothing will happen. Whereas y is reinitialized with 100. So 0 is gone. Now it is 100, correct? 0 is gone. Now y is reinitialized with 100, correct? Now, what is the fourth point? Fourth point is reinitialization is happened. What is the fifth point? Once all the static variables are loaded, then what happens? Main method also started loading, right? Because main is a static method. Main method also started loading into the stack memory, correct? What is the next point? Right? What is the next point? Once main method is loaded into the stack memory, correct? Then what happens? JVM calls the main method, right? JVM calls the main method. Let's run this. What is the output we should get? Java C. What is the class name? Static variable 2 dot Java. Correct. So there is a compile time error because we missed semicolon here. Let's correct again. Semicolon. Then save it, file save. Then recompile again. Java C class name dot Java. Right? Now there is no compile time error. Now run Java static variable 2. Now again simple, right? Same thing. X is loaded with 0, but Y is reinitialized with 100. Right? Very simple program. It's very, very simple. Now, same program I am going to modify. Correct? Same program I am going to modify. Guys, listen. This is very, very simple. Right? What I'm going to do is, you guys know already, right? So, if you observe this program, x equal to 500, y equal to 600. Yesterday, we have seen in one point is that static means static method means use it means it belongs to class, right? Similarly, static variable also belongs to class. Either it can be method or member. Static variable belongs to class, correct? Let me take this notes, right? Static members means either it can be static variables or static methods, right, belongs to class, right? Belong to class. It means Static variables will be having only one copy, right? That's what we have seen yesterday. Static variables will be having only one copy, right? It means for all the students, there should be only one blackboard, right? If someone writes inside the blackboard, everyone should see. If if I see, that should be affected. If some other person comes and see, he also should be affected. Consider we are, destroying it. We are just, erasing it by using duster. Then everyone will see it is erased. So it means only one static variable, one copy only will be there across the class, correct? So what it means here, if you observe the diagram, all the 6 points, when we are running this class is loaded into stack memory, right? When this class is loaded into stack memory, static variables x and y both are loaded with default values. Y will be 0. Then reinitialization, x will be 0, y will be 100. Then that point is once reinitialization happens, all the methods will be loaded. Fifth point. Sixth point is then JVM calls main method. Main method will be executed. Now when you observe, x will be 0, y will be 100. Now what happens? You are modifying. What you are modifying? You are modifying, boss. Only one copy. X will be 0 will be gone, right? 0 will be erased. 500. Then why you are reinitializing with 600? 100 will be gone, then 600, right? Only one copy, right? That is what here I have mentioned. Static variables means it will be only one copy only, right? Now let's run this program and observe the output. Let me copy this class. Let me clear the screen. Java C, class name, right click, dot Java, right? Compilation is success. How to run it? Simple, right? Java class name, right? Java class name. If you observe this output, let me copy this output and put it here. Guys, listen very, very carefully. This is very simple. First, when it is loaded, X is loaded with default value, no reinitialization. That's why we are getting 0. But whereas Y is reinitialized with 100, we are getting 100 now. Now, again, you reinitialize with 500 and 600. That's why you are getting this. So static variable means the another name. It's very, very important point. Please note it down. Static global variables, you can call it with different names, right? Static members means you can, already I said, either it can be static variables and static methods, right? So there are different three names are there. It is a class members. I said static variables or static members means it belongs to a class, right? Then you can say it is a global members, right? Global variable, global methods, right? It means it is a global member. Again, I can say it is a universal. Global or universal, both are same, right? If someone says, hey, it is a global variable, then you should understand it is a static variable. Hey, it is a class variable, then again it is a static variable. It is a universal variable, then it is a static variable. It's a class method, it means it is a static method, correct? So all the four names are exactly same. Either you can call it as a static variable or class variable or global variable or universal variable, right? It's a static method or global method or class method, all are same, correct? So that's why we are saying it as it is a global or universal variable, right? If you modify anywhere, you should see the changes are getting affected, correct? The changes are getting affected. Let's go with one more class quickly, right? Or else even I don't want to make one more class. Let me, by considering the time, I will remove everything, right? I'll be removing everything, correct? I'll be okay. Why? No. We'll go with one more class. Again, we'll come back, right? So let's go with class static variable 3, right? Let's select as a language Java, right? Then let's go with public static void main and then string B. You can give any name, right? Then let's go with what I'm going to do is simple. I'm going to define few more things, correct? Few more things. What is the few more things? I'm going to define few more variables. What is the variable? Static, right? It's a global variable or class variable, right? I can say age is age, right? Some age I am trying to give, right? Some age I'm trying to give, correct? Then I'm going with one more variable called static, right? Name. So name is a string data type, right? So I can give, say for example, angel, right? Angel, right? Then one more variable, static, let it be Boolean type, right? Boolean status, right? I don't give anything, right? Now what I will do, I'm just printing system dot out dot println, right? So let's quickly print something like this name, right? Then plus name, right? Let me copy paste quickly. Copy paste name. You can go with age. First one is age, second one is a name, third one is a status, right? Status. So now what I will do, I will compile this, correct? Status, right? I will compile this. This is very simple program, right? What happens when I compile this? Let me copy this. I will go to command prompt. I will quickly clear the screen. Then Java C class name, right? What is the class name? Copy, paste it here. Right click, dot Java, right? Yes, there is a problem. Static variable 3, what happens? File not found. It says this file is not available because we did not save. We forgot to save. Control C, file save. I forgot the step number 2, right? Static variable tree.java. Now step number 3 is over. Then compile it again. Let me re-clear Java C class name dot Java. Now class is available. There is a problem. What is the problem? See, copy paste. Println statement issue, right? Correct the error, right? That's okay. Now I corrected the error. File save it. Once you saved it, then again recompile it, right? Again recompile it. How to recompile? Java C class name dot Java, right? So compilation is success. It means we don't have any problem. Now how to run it? Simple. Java static variable 3. Now what happens when I am running static variable 3? This static variable 3 is loaded into stack memory. First point. Second point, when static variable 3 class is loading into stack memory, all the static global variables, what are the variables? Age, name and status, all are loaded with the stack memory along with main method, right? Now, third point. What is the third point? What is the third point? Third point is, once all are loaded, first it will be loaded with static variable. Static variable will be loaded with default values, correct? So age, what is the age data type? Age is a int type, right? Age will be loaded with 0. Status you will be knowing, like, it is a Boolean type. So status will be loading with false. What about string? So far we did not see string, right? Primitive data type is other thing. String is a derived data type. Derived data type default value is null. Okay, note down this point. Derived data type default value is null, correct? Let's note it out here. Derived data type default value is null. It can be anything, array or string, array list, employee, student, it can be anything, right? So then name will be default value will be null, correct? Name default value will be null. So 3 steps are done, right? 3 steps are done, right? 4 steps, 3 steps are done. Then reinitialization is happening from top to bottom. What is the reinitialization? So age will be reinitialized with 3, name will be reinitialized with angel, right? So this one is deleted, then age will be 3, then name will be angel, correct? And status, no reinitialization, it is false only, right? Now let's run this and see the output. See here, age is 3, Name is Angel, status is false because reinitialization did not happen, right? Reinitialization did not happen, correct? Reinitialization did not happen. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going with the different program, right? I'm going with the different program, correct? What is the different program? Let's go with this one. Okay, let's go with the same program, correct? Static variable 2. So what I'm going to do is here we are going with different statements, right? Let me remove this. Let me remove this, right? It's simple. Same program. We are going to make use of it, right? So I have a one static variables, right? Then what I will do is consider I'm going with something like this. Then I will go with one more method. Yesterday we have seen, right? Public static void, right? You can say process method, right? You can say process method, right? Then open parenthesis, close parenthesis. What I'm going to do, I'm going to print same x here, right? Same x here, same x here. So what I'm going to do is let's call this method also, right? You already know that how to call a method. Simple, right? You already know that you can call by using the directly you can call or by using the class name. Let me call process method. Let me rerun this program, copy, and let me quickly rerun it, right? How to run Java C class name dot Java. Compilation is success, right? How to run the program? Java class name. When I am running this static variable 2, right? This class is loaded into stack memory, correct? This class is loaded with stack memory. When this class is loaded into stack memory, only one static variable x and the main method process also one more method, right? So it means x is loaded with in the stack memory main method and one more method is process method, right? Both are loaded with stack memory, correct? Second point. What is the third point? Third point is it is loaded with default values, correct? What is the x data type? X data type is nothing but int, correct? So it is loaded with default values. So default value is nothing but 0, correct? 0, correct? Exactly. Now what is the fourth step? Reinitialization is happening. Nothing, no reinitialization. What is the fifth step? All the static methods will be loaded. Here it is a main method will be loaded into stack memory. Process method will be loaded into stack memory. Once main and process methods are loaded, then JVM calls main method. How are we calling process method like this? Similar way, you know, our runtime environment JRE will be calling this process method, correct? JVM will be calling. So now if you run, what is the output? JVM calls the main method. You will be getting default value 0. Then flow will be going inside process method. I can put like process method, right? Something like this inside process method. Let me compile it quickly again. Compilation is success. Let's run. How to run? Right? How to run Java class name, right? When I run, if you see the output, it's very clear, right? It's really very clear, right? First, it is from main method. What you are printing, you can put main method also if you want, right? So that it will be more clear. I made some changes. Let me save it. After saving it, let me recompile. It's very simple. How to recompile? Simple. Java C class name, right? CLS, right? Java C. What is the class name? Class name. Let's copy static variable to then dot Java, right? So compilation is success. How to run Java class name, right? See from main method you got 0, right? Let me copy paste now. It is very clear, right? Inside main method, you are getting main method x is this one, and the process method you are getting 0. Consider I am modifying into 100 now. What happens? Again, all 6 points. Static variables is loaded into stack memory. When this particular class is loading, all the static variables, that is x, will be loaded. Main method and process method will be loaded. Third point, x is loaded with default value. Fourth point, reinitialization is happened. Fifth point, main method and process method will be loaded. Sixth point, right? JVM will be calling main method, right? So now if you run this program, what is the output now? It is simple. You already know, right? You will be getting 100, main method 100, process method 100. It is straightforward. It is not at all difficult. Now what I'm going to do, it's simple. I'm going to modify something like this, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to modify something like this. So X value, I'm going to modify here inside main method. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give 200, right? Now what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to print something. After calling process method, I'm going to print something, right? I'll be printing some dashes here, right? Then I'll be printing. It's very simple, right? What I'm going to do, again, you know the output, right? Main method will be called. So main method X will be 100. Then flow will be going into process method. Inside process method, what happens? You are printing it, right? Again, it is 100. Inside process method, you are changing into 200. Only one global value, right? It's a global variable. Then 100 will be replaced. Once will replaced with 200. Once process method gets over, then flow comes back to main method, right? Then it will be printing dot dot dot. Then main method X will be 200 now. Let's run it and see the output. Again, how to run? You need to compile it. Whenever you change something, you need to compile it. Java C, right? Before compiling, you are good. Class name, what is the class name? Static variable 2. Then right click dot Java, right? Class compilation is good. Java, right click, right? Java class name. When I'm running this class is loaded and static variables loaded with 0, right? Let's see this output, right? Right click. You observe this output along with your program. This is very, very important, guys. What we are trying to say is static variables will be having only one copy, right? Wherever you modify, consider it. What is X now? What is X? X is nothing but static variable. Wherever you modify, it will be affected globally, correct? So first it is going to call main method. So what we are getting, main method X is 100. See the first output, 100. Then you are calling process method. Flow is going inside process method. Now you are printing process method 100, right? Now what happens? You are modifying inside process method. You are modifying into 200, right? So 200, right? It is visible to all the methods. Whichever method is using X, whoever modifies, all will be affected. How? In blackboard or green board, if someone modifies in the blackboard, which is visible to everyone, all the members of the class will see the change. Similar way, all the methods, whoever modifying, whoever using it, they'll be seeing the change. Now process method modified. Now you see when you are printing in the main method, you are seeing 200, right? It's very, very simple, right? It's very, very simple, correct? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it little bit more good, right? What I will do, I let me declare one more method called init method. Yesterday we have seen one method, right? Let's, instead of copying it, I'm just copy pasted public static void. This is a init method, correct? And consider this is a init method, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to modify into 300, right? Now what I'm going to do, again simple, I'll be printing something, then I'll be this one, right? I'll be printing and I will be printing the lines, then I'll be, for our understanding, right? Then again I'll be printing the X, correct? So X is printed here before calling, after calling, then we'll be printing it here, correct? Now you observe here, it's very simple. What is happening? This static variables 2 is loaded into stack memory. Static class is loaded into stack memory. Second point, variables and methods. Now we have one variable and three methods. All are loaded into stack memory. Once all are loaded into stack memory, what happens? First step is static global variable are loaded with the default value. X is loaded with 0. Then next step is reinitialization is happening. It is 100. Now main method, process method and init method. So far we had only two methods. Now we are having one more method called init method, right? All are loaded with in the stack memory, right? Once all are loaded, main method calls the JVM calls the main method. Now what output you'll be getting? X should be 100. Then you are calling process method. Let's run this and see the output. Java C. What is the class name? Let me copy Java C class name dot Java. Compilation is success. How to run Java class name, right? You see the output. Let me copy this output. Big output, right? Let me paste it here in our class itself, right? Now you see first flow will be coming into main method X, that is nothing but 100. You see the first output 100. We are good, right? Now you are calling process method flow. We have called 2 times here. We need to call init method, right? Instead of calling init method, I called process method, right? Let me call init method. Guys, previously I kept it as process only, copy paste issue. Now I change it into init. Let me recompile again. Okay, how to recompile? Simple. Let's go with the class name, copy. Then let me clear screen. Then Java C, right? Java C dot Java, right? Then there is a problem. What is the problem? Okay, let's see what is the problem. Somewhere, yeah, this one copy paste, right? We should remove, right? We should remove. Then let me recompile. So Java C class name dot Java, right? Compilation is success. How to run Java class name? When I run, if you see the output, now we are good, right? We are making sure everything is perfect. Now if you see main method called, it is value is x100, perfect. Now what we are doing? You are calling process method. Flow is going inside process method. You are printing what is inside process method X. It is 100 only. We did not modify anything, right? It is 100 only, guys. It is 100 only, correct? Now process method you are modifying into 200. That's why you are modifying into 200, right? Then again coming back here, printing, you are printing some dash, then main method. Now what is the X value? It is 200. If you observe here, right? Dash under 200, right? Then what you are doing? Then you are printing dash. Yes, dash is printed. You are good. Then what you are doing? You are calling init method. Flow is going inside init method, right? Now init method you are printing. What is the value? X value? It is 200 only. We did not modify. Then after printing, inside init method, if you observe, it is 200 only. After printing, you are modifying into 300, right? You are modifying into 300. Then, right? Now flow is come back. Who call this init method? Init method called by main method. Flow is coming back and you are printing dash. Now main method. What is X value now? If you observe, we modified it to 300, right? This output is very clear, right? This output is very clear. It's very simple. We did not do anything. We just played around, right? We just played around, correct? We just played around with different values, correct? With different values, right? Now let's go with one more program, right? So yeah, instead of making it again, I will modify this program itself, correct? So we are having a, right, one static variable, right? One static variable, say for example X. Then we are having a public. Quickly, let's go with public static void main. Then we are having a string arguments, right? So this and all we have already seen so many times. That's why I'm going super fast. Only I'm considering something like this. This program you already know it, right? System dot out dot println, correct? System dot out dot println. I'm just printing x equal to plus x, right? Then static variable 2. Let me save it. Now what is the output? You already know. When this class is loaded, it is loaded into stack memory. Two types of memory, right? X is loaded with default value, then reinitialized with 100, then JVM calls main method. What is the output? Let's run this class again. Let me copy this class name, right? Let me copy this class name. What is this one? Java C class name dot Java, right? Compilation is success. How to run it? Java class name. This you already know. You might be asking, sir, why are you putting the same program again, right? We would like to stress one point. So if we observe, the main method does not have any variables, any local variables. So when I am calling this one, I can call something like this. Then what is the next step? Next step is you can even call, because it is a global member, right? How to call the static variable members? How to call static variable methods or variables? You can call by using class name, right? Static variables or methods can be called directly, right? We know that X we are calling directly. Our second option is by using class name, right? You already know, right? By using class name. It's simple, very simple, right? By using class name, right? So I'm going to, similar way, what I'm going to do, I'm going to call using the class name, right? Let me print some dotted lines, right? I'm just printing some dotted lines. Then I am printing, this is calling using class name, right? Class name, just, how I can call, copy the class name. Class name can be anything. Again, same thing I'm pasting here. Class name dot variable name or method name, right? Let me run this program again. Again, I saved it. Let me clear the screen. How to compile? Java C class name dot Java, right? Compilation is success. How to run it? Java class name. If you observe, you are getting x equal to 100, class name x equal to 100, right? Same output you are getting 100 and 100. So what we are trying to learn? We are learning like either you can call directly or by using the class name, right? Now, same program I would like to play around. So what I'm going to do, if you observe, let me remove this. If you observe, the main method is very simple. I'm just making it very simple, right? The main method is very, very simple. It is having only one static variable. That's why if I use plus only X, it is printing static global variable. Let me rerun again quickly. I would like to stress some point. Let me rerun. So Java C class name dot Java, right? Compilation is success. Java class name, right? Java class name, you are getting 100. So here we do not have any other variable, only static variable. Suppose what happens? Something like this. Int x equal to 500. Now you see, what is this? Let me put a comment. This is a static variable, right? Static variable, right? What is this? This is a variable declaration. Whenever you use data type, that is called declaration, right? This is a local variable declaration. This is a different variable. That is a different variable, right? Even though name is same, but if you have y, then no problem, right? What you will do? You will print x and y, right? Let me print x and y. It's very simple, right? If you print x, you will get x value. If you print y, you will get y value. So you should get 100 and 500, right? Let me rerun, right? Java C class, sorry. Java C, what is the class name? Class name is nothing but static variable to play screen, right? Yeah. Java C, copy it. I don't know, copying is happening or not. Copy it, right click, .java, right? How to run? It's simple. Java. So you are getting x equal to 100, y equal to 500. It's very simple because x is nothing but static global variable, class variable, global variable, or universal variable. But as y variable is not universal variable, it is a local variable. The value is only within inside method. In case consider you are having different methods, right? You are having like init method, destroy method. If you declare init method, inside init method you cannot see local variable. Local variable means scope will be inside that method only. We will see further in the future class. For now you can understand this one. Now it is simple. In case if I go with same name, compiler will not give you any error. Let's see. Let's compile, right? Let's compile Java C class name dot Java. Compilation, there is, okay, what is the problem? Yeah, let me make it X because I removed Y, but I given X, right? So let's make it, let's rerun again. I did not do anything. I just made it some compile. Now there is no compile time error. If you see, there is a x as a static variable, there is a x as a local variable. So if you print x, what you will get? That is the question, right? What you will get? Either you will get x 100 or 500. Let's see the output quickly. Okay. How to compile? We compiled already. How to run? Java class name. You observe you are getting 500 only. Why? Preference going into local variable. Preference going into local variable, right? What is the next note? If static variable and local variable names are same, right? Then preference goes to local variable, right? Correct. See here, even though x is a static variable, it is saying, hey, there is a x. Which one x I want to take? Yes, both are same name, right? But let's go with inside a method, right? Let's go with preference with local variable, right? So now you should understand that if static variable and local variable names are same means preference goes to local variable. Then you will be having a question, hey, how I can access global variable here? Right? If at all I use x means I always get 500. How can I access static variable here? You already know the answer, right? What is the answer? By using the class name. It's very simple, right? Let me copy paste, right? This x is nothing but local x, right? Local variable, right? Then second x is nothing but global variable, right? Or static variable, right? How can I access? Simple again. I said by using the class name. Copy it. Again, let me paste it. Dot. Right? Let me rerun this program again. So I should compile again. Whenever I make any change in the .java file, I should compile it. Java C class name .java. Right? Sorry, I ran it. Right? How to do it? Java C class name .java. Right? Compilation is success. How to run it? Java class name. You see here, local variable value is 500, static variable value is 100. What is local variable value? See, local variable value is 500. You directly are accessed. Whereas static variable value is, if you observe, it is 100. You see the output, static variable value is 100, correct? So if we have same name, then it goes to local variable. But in industry, in real-time project, usually we will not give like this, right? Name should be unique and we will make sure global variable is different, but local variable is different, right? But for any competitive exams or any hacker rank, hacker, even companies also will be giving like this test to make sure how much you are able to understand, right? How much you are able to understand, correct? So this is very simple, right? So, we will cover overall what we have seen today. Guys, very, very important. I'm sure you would have understood. There are two types of memory. We did not see heap memory at all. Heap memory we will be seeing in 5 to 6 days of class, right? So, heap memory is whenever you are creating object and all, heap memory comes into place, right? We will be seeing in the future. You don't worry. Now, for now, we are only concerned about stack memory. It is mainly for execution purpose. So whenever you are running particular class, that class is loading into stack memory, right? We already seen static variable 2 is loaded into stack memory. First step. So what is the second step? When class is loading into stack memory, all the static variables and all the static methods are loaded into stack memory. If you observe, consider if the class has 3 methods, all are loaded with, right? Stack memory. Now, what is the third step? You know, all the static variables are loaded with the default values, right? We already know that what are the default values. All are Based on the data type, it is loaded with default value. What is the fourth step? Once static variables are loaded with default values, then reinitialization is happening from top to bottom. Correct? Reinitialization is happening top to bottom. What is the fifth point? Once all the static variables are loaded, with the reinitialization purpose, then all the methods, not non-static methods, only static methods are loaded into the stack memory. Once everything is done, then JVM calls main method started executing, right? And we have a few more points. We have seen that let me open few more points. We have seen that if a variable declared inside a method, that is called a local variable. But if a variable is not declared inside a method, but declared inside a class, means that is called static variables. Again, we have different names. Static variable means it is a global variables or universal variables or class variables. Static variable or static method means it belongs to class. See, under class only you are having both variable and methods, right? So static means it belongs to class. That is another point we have seen. Then we have seen like static variables will be having only one copy, right? Across the execution, only one copy. If someone changes, then original copy will be affected, right? But if you see another way object, that is different, that we will not cover now, correct? So what is the next one? Default value, we already seen that primitive will be, these are the default values, whereas derived data type like string, array, or any customed class, default data type is null. This is also important point in interviews, fresher interview, you will be getting it. Then static variables, either you can call it directly or by using the class name, right? In case if local variables and global variables are there with the same name, means preference goes to local variable. We have seen with Anson program. Then what is the next one? If at all you want to call, right, global variables in this situation, then you should go with class name, right? Then we can able to access the static variable.